listen, as the hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate is always sometimes meet the grads, young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company is. Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to. Go to grads.
Get out of your ass after what you've been doing. Shame on you. You want to be ashamed of yourself. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, I know you have to make some sure, but you don't want but you can do it with clothes.
I'm ready when you are. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Real Estate Plate. As always, I'm your host, Nick Sakalis, coming to you live from the WGBB studios here in Merrick, New York. And of course, just like usual, we're going to have some technical issues. We're going to have some technical issues because it wouldn't be a Real Estate Plate if we didn't have them. So for everybody that's listening to me through the WGBB airwaves on the radio, you can hear me absolutely perfectly without an issue, without a problem. Now, for the people that are watching through the social media world, the whole entire YouTube and Facebook community, we're having issues. Of course, we're having issues. It wouldn't be a normal day without issues. So apparently the software is not working properly. It's not working properly, and it's what it is. We're using the Zoom platform, and it is what it is. We'll bear with it. We'll deal with it. We'll do what we got to do. I can't say much more than that. We're going to try. We're going to try to get through it one way or the other. I'm trying to make the adjustments as we are speaking right now. As I'm doing the show live, I am making the adjustments as necessary to be able to give you as much of a seamless as much of a seamless type of scenario as possible. Now it shows that it's happening. So let's see, is it happening? Let's see what's going on. So we got to, apparently the link that was given to me through Facebook was not the proper link. Why? Because that's how it works. That's how it usually works. Hey, those are the breaks. So let's make the adjustment. Let's make the adjustment onto Facebook, and I believe that we've done that. I believe that we have the proper link now loaded in there. Hopefully. Now let's see, is there anybody here live while I'm on here? Don't believe that there's anybody here, but we tried to do something a little bit different. We tried to do something a little bit different this time. I don't know how well it's going, but we're going to figure this out. What I'd like to do is create a platform, because we've had a lot of audio issues coming in whenever we get some phone calls coming in. And we're still going to take the phone calls. And the number here is 516-623-1240. Again, 516-623-1240 is the number to call here. It's the WGBB studios. Trevor will pick up the phone, and please don't be a troll. He will pick up the phone and he will let us all connect. In the meantime, what I'm doing that's a little bit different, is I am actually popping in a link right now for the Zoom link. Now, why is this a little different? Well, I'm giving everybody the opportunity to be able to actually connect with me actually face to face. Now, I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. It's probably a bad idea, especially if we get some nut that's going to go on the phone, on the stream. But you know what? I have faith that everybody in here is on the up and up. They're good people. Yeah, they're not going to say anything that's going to get us hit by the FCC. I hope that's the case. And if it's not, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The WGBB people are going to go ballistic on me. It is what it is. So, like I said, I dropped the link in there. And hopefully somebody will actually take it. If doesn't, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this going forward. We'll figure it out. Same way we always figure things out. We'll figure this out. and we'll get it done the right way. Like I said, it's an experiment. It is a ongoing experiment with not only the streams, but with the show itself. I think that we all go through these growing pains. I am very fortunate enough to have had so many people involved with us over the years. Believe it or not, this is actually, we're going into the 4th year of doing this radio show. 4 years. We're going into the 4th year of doing this radio show, and it's been quite a wild ride. It's been a really, really nice adventure learning this whole process. Yeah, are we really, really good on it? At it? No, we're not the best. I'm not one of these typical super YouTubers that know everything and anything that has to do with streaming properly. But we stumble through everything. We find a way to get it done. But that being said, enough with our insane type of issues with technology. Let's get into why everybody's here. Let's get into it. It's all about real estate. It's all about real estate. And I'm thinking a lot of stuff is going on. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way. And I'm going to just piggyback a little bit off of what we spoke about last week and kind of keep it casual today. I think we're going to keep it a little bit open and free range as far as our discussions. Before I get started, I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving. Enjoyed the holiday in the best way possible. Hopefully you didn't overstuff yourself with turkey. And if you did, who cares? It's one day. You know, as long as you didn't give yourself a heart attack, we're good. You know, so you know it's one of those scenarios where you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, and why not? You know, the other part of the tradition for Thanksgiving weekend is always Black Friday, and that the whole week coming into what we call Cyber Monday, which is today. Happy Cyber Monday. And as I usually do, I was really monitoring and assessing the situation with the retail type of stores. Now, everybody out there is always telling us how retail is dead. The days of brick and mortar are gone. Well, I'm going to tell you something from my observation that I made over this weekend. And I'll tell you, you know, I typically don't like to go shopping during this weekend because all the nut jobs come out and they'll stomp you for the super blockbuster, doorbuster sales, whatever you want to call it. But I had to go out because one, I broke my phone. So I needed to get a replacement. So I started scrambling all over the place trying to find a replacement phone. And I'll tell you something that I found very, very fascinating, very intriguing. I went to the AT&T stores. They didn't have anything I needed. They only had models that didn't work for me. They said I should try some of the retailers, go to Best Buy. Well, I went to Best Buy, and I'll tell you what I discovered when I went to Best Buy. There was a line out the door waiting. And this was not in the morning. This is not a scenario where I was there 12 a.m. waiting for the door to open up for like special crazy deals that usually happen and that kind of thing. It was in the middle of the day. It was in the afternoon, actually. And I was absolutely floored that there was a line out the door, quite a big line. And it wasn't your typical type of, we're limiting how many people are going to come in COVID lines, because there's plenty of people inside the store. It was an occupancy type of line where they would get way too many people, even by pre-COVID standards. And I found that to be fascinating, intriguing. And actually, it gave me hope for retail. See, I was never a big believer that retail and commercial property was dying. I never was. I just always believed that it needed to adapt and change with the times. The typical models where you create a retail store, build a space, and expect people just to come in because they're walking by, that model is not something that's really valid today, unless you're in a majorly congested road. Or again, we're doing this all without COVID and coronavirus type of situations where, things are limited. We're talking about under normal type of situations where you have many, many people walking by, like on a Times Square or something like that. Yeah, those places you're still going to work with the walk-in traffic. However, in most situations, or mid-traffic kind of situations, or mid-visibility type of situations, businesses really need to adapt. They needed to implicate a online model in some ways, or at the very least, a online presence. And through a somewhat of a merger of, I want to say, old and new school type of business, they'll be able to not only survive, but to thrive for many, many years to come. Many, many years to come. And I'm seeing that right now. Best Buy was one of the big box stores that people have been pointing at, that, their days are limited. Now, I can't say if that would be the case or not. That really comes down to their leadership and their business model. But the fact that there was lines out the door, it wasn't like one or two people. It was a good amount of people. They were going all the way through the parking lot. It was actually very, very pleasant to see. I was happy to see that. Pleasantly surprised. Now, I don't know what was going on in the city, because I avoided the city like the plague that day, those days. I did not want to go down there because usually it's hysteria. I'm just basing this off of what I saw in Nassau County. And I was really, really happy to see what I saw. Now, like anything else, look, we're getting out of a situation where everybody's learning to adapt and trying to pick up the pieces and recreate the businesses in the best way possible. And to not only rebuild, not only to restructure, but to create a model that could sustain for many years to come. And innovations have really, really taken a very positive step in a lot of different directions. Where businesses weren't existent prior, they're existent now. Where opportunities weren't really that visible before, they are now. I mean, look at what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing. I'm on the radio. I'm on WGBB 1240 AM. We're on FM. We're on a 95.9 FM. But besides that, I'm streaming to you live. I'm streaming to you live right now, like I'm in the room with you on YouTube. I put links everywhere. So you can actually go and click the link and get on and join me. As if I was in the room with you. Now, I don't know how good the quality is as far as how you could see me right now, real time. But from my point of view right now, I'm looking like I'm crystal clear. Now, for better or for the worse. Now, maybe people don't want to see me crystal clear. Maybe they want to see me just blurry. I don't know. You know, that's your decision. that's your choice of how you want to observe me or not. Or maybe you want to shut off the video and just listen to my voice. Maybe that's something you want to do. I don't know. But what I will say is that we're using technology. We're using different levels of sophistication that we, in many cases, were not necessarily keen on taking in prior, or maybe even afraid to take on. And almost like one of those scenarios, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, I mean, look at this. Look at this microphone that's right in front of me right now. Something that I don't think was existent or wasn't a thing prior to our lockdowns, our pandemics, our quarantines, or everything. See this thing right in front of me? Now you see this. This thing right here is a cover. It's almost like a microphone. I don't know, what do you want to call it? Microphone condom. It's basically there to protect the head of the microphone from me possibly getting too close to it. Because I'll tell you something. I've seen some of the people that have done live shows here, and they get right in your face, and they sometimes the microphone actually gets right on their mouth, and I'm not really comfortable getting that close to the microphone. To myself, I'm very, very hesitant to do that, but some people do. The other thing that this protects you from is spit. We all have a tendency of spitting all over the place when we're talking. Well, just like everybody, especially if I get animated, and especially if I start, going on a rant or something like that, I can't help it if some spittle is going to fly out of my mouth while I'm talking. Hey, it's part of talking. And if we get really, really intense, that's how it happens sometimes. But this thing, yeah, I'll show you the thing. Look at this. I didn't even know this thing existed. This protective cover is specially designed and for karaoke outdoor and discussing conference. Oh, so originally, I guess this was created to protect people for karaoke microphones. That actually makes a lot of sense. That actually makes quite a lot of sense. But now we're applying it to the radio station. We never had these before our plague that hit us. But again, this is a point. The business is accelerated. It is amplified, just like the mask business, just like the glove business. Yes, they were existing businesses before, but they've gone to another level. In the real estate business, I don't think we'll be able to ever, maybe I'm being a little bit too over the top by saying ever, but I find it very unlikely that we'll ever be able to go to a model where we're not having at least a small supply of masks and gloves and sanitizer, all at our disposal and readily available, not only for our protection, but for our clients' protection and the customer's protection. It's just the way it's going right now. It's just the way it is. It's a different world. It really is. And although many of us are angry and upset with this whole scenario, and I'll tell you something, I'm one of them. I'm not happy. You know, there's a lot of things that have gone really, really wrong during these times. You know, everybody knows I've been a major advocate for landlord rights. And even though I've been quiet, and even though I've been offline a lot lately, and that has to do a lot for multiple reasons. And, you know, I'll get into some of the messages and letters that were sent to me, and I'll answer some questions, and I'll jump into this one for this one as well. So a lot of people saw me come in almost like gangbusters originally for landlord rights and being an advocate. And that never ended. That never changed. That will never cease to exist as far as my point of view and my beliefs, as far as how unjust and how cruel these mandates that they've made everybody go through was, and how one-sided they were. And I don't care what anybody tells me, and I really don't. I feel that there was an agenda, whether it was political, whether it was sociological, whether it was whatever. There was an agenda to cause some major pain to landlords. For whatever reason, it was. And if you feel that I'm wrong about that, you're more than welcome to call in. But right now, I got the microphone. You want to call in? The number here is 516-623-1240. If you want to join the chat, if you want to actually join the live stream, I put the link for the live stream right into the chat, the live chat, and you could click on it, and I will give you access. You could join us. I'll give you access, no problem, and you could voice your opinion. You could say anything you like, except for things that get the FCC on our back, because we don't want that. Right, Trevor? We don't want the FCC on our back. We got enough heat on us. We got enough heat on us. Now, people know that I don't mince words. Yes, I am careful of how I approach things because I'm not a lunatic. And I'm just not going to spew out whatever I feel like saying without thinking about it a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. I'm not just going to spew random stuff just for argument's sake and just for, shock factor and that kind of thing. Whether you agree with a lot of the stuff I've said over the years, over the past months, over this past year, over the whole scenario of, quarantines and eviction moratoriums and that kind of thing, regardless of however you feel about me and my opinions or not, the one thing you can't deny and you can't say can't use as far as an argument is that I'm not being factual. I'm not being truthful. I'm stating the facts. I'm stating truths. And whenever I bring something up and I say it's my opinion, purely based on my opinion, I will state that that's the case. And I will tell you something. People love to tell you, well, your opinion's wrong. Really? How can my opinion be wrong? It's my opinion. That's what I believe in. It's how it is. Same way I don't agree with other people's opinions, but that's their opinions. I don't tell them you're wrong. I might have a debate. I might have a healthy debate and a healthy argument about something and state to them that maybe you should look at it from a different angle and that kind of thing. But if somebody's animated, really believes in something, they're more than welcome to their own opinions. Same way, I've said this a lot of times, and I've said this multiple times over past streams, over past shows. Everybody has the right to agree to disagree. So why am I getting into this whole thing? Why am I getting into this whole thing? Well, I had to cool off a little bit from really going out on a tangent with a few things. Well, and there's multiple reasons why. One, I had gone bombarded. I got overwhelmed. When I tell you overwhelmed, I got completely overwhelmed with a lot of work. I got so busy, and I'm still busy. Now, is it good kind of busy, bad kind of busy? Time will tell. But I'll tell you something. I've been so preoccupied with work, thankfully, because if I didn't have that preoccupation and I wasn't distracted by work, and I just thought about all the things that were being done wrong, I'd lose my mind. And then you'll see me really go nuts, and maybe then you'll call me a lunatic because I don't have anything else to think about. And my only focus would be what's going on. And I'd go berserk. You see me in past streams. I leave all my videos up. I don't make them disappear. You see me during the landlord rallies and during a lot of the demonstrations and being part of panels and that kind of thing, where I really got animated. Again, animated in a constructive way, in a way to be able to relay the same feelings I have to and share those feelings with other people that are in the same situation as me. And I also feel for a lot of people out there that are having hardships with this situation. And we're going to get into video and a radio stream that's based only on landlord situations and evictions. And I guarantee you that we'll be doing multiple ones in January as the moratorium lifts here in New York, discussing the aftermath. And I can assure you that there's a lot to talk about as far as the aftermath and people that have gotten damaged and permanently damaged through this whole situation. We'll get into that, I assure you. Now, I'm going to stay away from politics for a while. We just had elections. I got on to our current politicians, or some current and some recently escorted out, like our friend Cuomo over there, like our friend DeBlasio over there. I got into that. I didn't hold back. I didn't mince words. I didn't tell anybody. I wasn't going to hold back for the sake of holding back. They did a huge disservice to us, landlords, property managers, homeowners. Huge disservice to us. Don't get me started on the small businesses, on the retailers, on the small restaurants, the big restaurants, the eateries. Don't get me started on all of them. Because all of them got one big. I wish everybody in the radio could see me right now, but if you want to see me, you can watch me on one big smack right across the face, all of you. That's what Cuomo did. That's what DeBlasio did. Sorry. And if there's DeBlasio lovers and Cuomo lovers out there that despise what I'm saying, then you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm disturbing you so much, because I got a lot of messages like that. I got a lot of feedback that was very negative in regards to my approach to that. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? I was ranting and raving about it. And what happens? They get Cuomo out. And now I don't know what, I stopped following it. As soon as they got him out, I stopped dwelling on it. Let them do whatever they do to him. Hopefully lock him up and throw away the key. I doubt that's going to happen. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. But you're laughing over there, huh, Trevor? He's not my friend. I'll tell you that much. I hope they like I said, lock him up and throw away the key. But I will tell you something. When I was saying all this before, forget about all the women he's harassed, all these allegations, I'm calling them allegations because nothing has been proven yet. We don't want to get sued. So we're calling them allegations. Before all this stuff happens, I was calling him out on being despicable and heavy-handed towards landlords, housing providers, small businesses, restaurants, retail shops. You name them. You name them. Looks like somebody is here look at it. We got somebody here with us. Let's see who joined us right now. I have somebody here. Face.
Сука, блядь, нахуй, сука, блядь, нахуй, блядь, нахуй, сука, блядь, нахуй, блядь, нахуй, сука, блядь, нахуй, сука, блядь, нахуй, блядь, сука, блядь, нахуй.
We got somebody with us here. I admitted him. Somebody did join us through an iPhone. Not sure the audio is working properly or not. I'm doing my best, people. I'm doing my best to keep this thing working the right way. Like I said, this is an experiment. Hopefully the person that's on here with us is not some homicidal maniac or somebody that's trying to troll me. I hope that's not the case.
Ох, я тебя буду преследовать.
Let's see.
Преследовать.
Do you have a name, Mr. iPhone?
Ладно, вы говорите, тише, сука.
This is very odd. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe we could hear you now. If you're able to say something, please say something now. Hold on. I think I figured it out. Can you hear me? You hear There's some Christmas music in the background. That's fun. I hear somebody screaming in the background. I don't know what's going on over there. It's always an interesting day here on the real estate plate, I'll tell you that much. Oh, this is different. Oh man, Trevor, I got somebody here. Can you hear any of this? I don't know what we got here, but it's definitely something different. Oh man. Wow. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the misses. I don't know. And then we're getting echo. Let's get rid of that echo.
Система поиска пидорасов
I think we got rid of the echo, but we still got this wild stuff going on here. Now this is captivating radio. Let's all try to figure out what
трясет ваш смартфон. Трясет, 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 трясет.
Mr. iPhone Man, can you hear me?
Потряси скорее смартфон.
Yes, stop saying Mr. iPhone Man. I have to say Mr. iPhone Man, or Mrs. iPhone Man, or iPhone things. This is going on here, and we got echo like you never heard before. I'm gonna give it a second to see if this pauses. All right.
Звонит твое анальное отверстие. Секса хочу.
От этого мне хочется кричать.
All right. I think this is discovered.
Люди, вы хуй на блюде. Я вас проклинаю.
Can you hear this?
Программа познавания отвечает. Не ваше дело, идите нахуй.
Все,
Either we
тебе
got a troll or
пизда.
we got somebody here. That's what I get for giving out the link for people to come on. But you know what? This guy's playing all kinds of music over here. I'm gonna mute him for a second. I'm wondering,
Я вас
can
не
you see
знал.
it? Have
Идите
you
нахуй.
gone on to the
I saw it and I'm hearing it.
you see what I'm looking at? Something.
That was crazy.
I had to unmute him for a second. Let's see what else he's got. Oh, he's got more. He's got more over here. Like I said, it's gonna be one of these days that are very like loosey-goosey. I said I'll give everybody open platform. Why not? Give them open platform.
Всем привет! Меня зовут Влада 4. Галли!
What is this guy listening to?
Ай, блядь, я не дура туда зайду, блядь!
I think he's just
Ошибку
playing
ебаную
it just to mess with
выдаю,
you.
блядь! 1 сентября, блядь, придуйте!
It's all right. It's stimulating. I'm gonna mute the guy, Mr. or Mrs. or
Ёбаный ты козел,
whatever
Черножопый,
iPhone person
блядь.
you are.
Был бы ты человек, нахуй.
If you actually
Твою
want to
дочку.
talk, you're more than welcome to. I'm putting you on silence now. I'm putting him in the corner. He's getting a dunce cap.
Это был пранк, бро.
What? He keeps unmuting himself. I'm gonna have to lock him out. I have to lock him out.
Этих ублюдков. Узнайте этих ублюдков. Переверните там все вверх дном.
Oh,
Ну
man.
накажите! Накажите этих
All right, I'm gonna have
мразей!
to remove you. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. If you got something to say, raise your hand or something, and I'll leave you in the waiting room until then. That was quite a you're only gonna get that here. You're only gonna get that here. But you know what? Why not? Why not? Like I said, I'm trying to be like I got onto a rant before about the politics. And like I said, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get deep into it going forward until we start seeing what these new people are doing. Right? Right now, Cuomo's replacement, what are we going to say about her? It's a lame duck. Nothing's going to be done of substance until we get closer to elections, which, by the way, I find that to be a complete sham altogether, as far as why we didn't have the opportunity to vote in a new governor when the previous one was rejected and we just got assigned one. If the president was thrown out, impeached, evicted, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. If the president was taken out, does that mean that the vice president takes the place immediately? But they're part of the same.
The vice president or the secretary of, or state or something like that.
But they're
Or the person in the Congress, one of them, like Pelosi.
They're part of the same regime.
Yeah, they will take over. You know, if the president is in trouble, they have a vote on it. This is either the House, president or the vice president take over.
But it doesn't make any sense. You're throwing them out. They're part of the same reason. They're this. Sorry, people, for lack of better terms, they're the same garbage. Get them all out together. What? I'm taking out this one person, but let me leave my revenants over there to keep doing all the damage. That makes no sense.
The people that voted for him will be angry.
Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. Just make a new election. Just make a new, temporarily until the new elections. Yeah, there should be somebody assigned because you can't just have Wild West happening and nobody being no checks and balance. All right, you put somebody temporarily in there, but it shouldn't be the person that's right under them. If you're getting rid of the, listen, like I said again, I'm not a friend of Cuomo's. I don't like him at all. But I'll tell you something. How did you justify? How did you accomplish anything by getting him out and putting somebody that was directly right under him in his place without another vote?
They don't get along, Nick.
Makes no sense.
They don't like each other. They don't get along.
Yeah, they don't like each other. I don't care if they like each other. I didn't vote for this person. And forget about that. I didn't vote for a person because I vote for people all the time that lose. I never win. Nobody, usually the people that I vote for lose. So if you ever want to pick the winners, just ask me, who are you voting for? I'll tell you who, and then you say, okay. But the point is, at least I have the chance. At least I have my right as a citizen to vote. Why did this not happen? Well, it makes no sense. DeBlasio, his terms are up. Thank God. He's still got a month. He could do a lot of damage in a month. So keep your eyes open, people, because watch what kind of things get pulled out of the bag right now over the next month. Because I guarantee you, there's going to be some doozy that are going to pop up out of nowhere. And if they don't investigate this guy, then you know what? I'm not going to allow myself to get even more disillusioned. I really won't. But you know, this is really a ridiculous type of situation altogether. It really is. But it is what it is. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I'm going to save my being judgmental until at least a quarter passes through of 2022, as far as our new mayor is concerned. I want to give the guy an opportunity. I want to give him a chance. A lot of people are saying he's going to be great, and I hope that's the case. I hope he's going to be great.
I guess we just have to wait and see.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. I'm a little bit, though, hesitant to not anoint him.
Because he's a politician.
Well, he is a politician.
Yeah, they make good when they want to vote. When you get in there, they say it's hard to get what they need to get done because nobody will work with them.
Correct. Put yourself on the microphone so I can have you heard better.
I was saying that a lot of these politicians will make promises just to get into office. And when they get in there, they claim they can't get that done because nobody's working.
Yeah, nobody's, of course. Well, they're all Democrats now. Everybody's the same. Why? So now they should all be working, right?
Right.
It was working for all these years in New York. You pick a powerful area that's not run by the Democrats, so you're supposed to get along. Let's see if you're going to get along. I'll tell you something. As far as the crime being cleaned up a little bit, I do have faith that he will do something because he's obviously pro-police. I don't feel that we're going to hear defund the police coming out of his mouth.
No, I don't think it's for that. No.
And if he does, I was about to say they should hang him, but don't do that because
They call me up and say, "You hear that, Nick?"
I did not say that. I did not say that. But what they should do, you know, if he actually turns around and says something like that, you know what? All his brethren, all his old police company, they should go get up and say, what the hell are you doing right now? Go have a nice old-fashioned sit down. Let's call it that. Again, I'm being very careful with the words. I'm not going to say
A lot of these guys are just jumping in the office for something else. Well, actually, what he wants to be is governor, and then after that, run for president. That's all they want. They don't want these mayor jobs. It's just a way of putting the foot in the door.
possibly. You possibly might be right, but what I will say is this: if I really believe that he will do something about cleaning up the crime.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I do have faith with, and that would be great for all the businesses, the real estate, for all you people wondering why I'm going down this point, because the mayor and the laws that take place in New York City and everything around New York City have a huge effect on how real estate works going forward. So I want to say from that aspect, I feel comfortable with that. And if we start seeing the crime going down over the next few months and going into the year, then you might see a lot of the people that did a mass exodus out of New York City start to slowly come back in. A lot of people are actually coming back into the city,
Right.
believe it or not.
Wow.
It's not all escape from New York. There's still a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. But it's not all that. You're getting people coming back into the city too. Or some other people that are looking for opportunity now that, you know, a lot of places became ghost towns to go in there and try to get a reasonable rate on a place and that kind of a thing. So you do have a lot of that happening. So if he does well as far as fighting the crime and cleaning up the streets and that kind of thing, I firmly believe that that will be a positive step. Now, the other thing that I'm not so confident about, as far as him concerned, is whether he'll be good for businesses right now and small businesses. I don't have any faith that he's going to be good for real estate.
Was he wrong president or something like that in Brooklyn? So I would think, he's been dealing with that for the longest time.
What, I don't understand what you mean. The
He's a borough president.
yeah,
So I'm quite sure he's got some kind of connection with this.
yeah, he should. He should. I just don't feel that an ex-police officer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being a little bit stereotypical right now. Is going to be as pro-business as somebody that has, yeah. And here's the thing: people hate to hear this. Like, well, we don't want businessmen. We don't want everything to be run like a business or corporation. Guess what? New York City is a freaking corporation. Whether you like it or not, there's a reason it's a financial capital of the world. It's a reason why it's the biggest funnel of money going in and out. There's a reason for that. The thing needs to run like a machine, like a corporation. And if it doesn't, it's going to go broken. Simple as that. This is not some little town over in Idaho where we're farming potatoes. And that's it. There's a lot of different wheels. There's a lot of different cogs in motion as far as New York is concerned. And in order to get them all running properly, you have to have good governing people to basically run it. And I really believe that somebody that should be running it is somebody that has some business experience. If not some business experience, at least some private workforce experience. Like I don't like career politicians. Hopefully, you know what? The best leaders are the ones to see their weaknesses and find people to fill in to complete those weaknesses. So, like I said, I'm actually very hopeful that something will be done. Let's start with the crime and take it from there. Again, as far as real estate is concerned, I am not overly optimistic as far as not only our current regime or the people taking over in January doing anything of very big substance. I don't see that happening because it's been anti-landlord and anti-homeowner for quite some time here. Quite some time. I hope that changes. And I hope they understand that in order to keep money circulating, they're going to have to be a little bit more mindful of the people that are pumping the blood into the state and the city. And landlords and property managers are a big part of that. Very big part of that. And like I said, we're going to do a stream just only focusing on that. And it might be off radio hours because it might just have to be one of those that lasts for like a couple hours. I don't know if an hour is going to be able to do everything. But that being said, we're getting close to the end of the show. Somebody's going to call up Trevor in about a moment and say, get him off the radio. He's going overtime. He's taking my minutes. You hear me, guy, after me on the show? I know he's listening. I'll get off. I promise. Say goodbye to everybody. And by the way, Starbucks, I need my endorsement. So I'm going to say to everybody, have a great night. Have a fantastic week. Make lots of money in real estate. It was an interesting stream and it was an interesting radio show again. We don't think we covered anything fully and accomplished anything on the show, but I got a chance to ramble and go off, especially now towards the end. So I'm getting off the airwaves. I'm getting off the airwaves, and you could have your show now, Mr. After Me. Who is that? Who's coming in after me, Trevor?
That runs a program called Go Party Online.
Go Party Online. So if you're listening to me on WGBB, you stay on and you listen to Go Party Online. I took 40 of his seconds away from him. Have a great week, everyone. That was interesting, huh?
This is WGBB and W240 DFFM 95.9 Freeport, New York.
Was that him? Was that him calling you? I knew it.